movements that are great for your hips also. So we'll work on some different squat variations. Everybody's pretty much warmed up. Some of you guys have seen these before, some of you may not. So the first thing we're gonna do is just get into like our normal squat, right? So sitting position where we're resting, okay? And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our arms and we're gonna push in and out in this position. You should feel a stretch inside the groin and inside the back of the hip, just like this, okay? And then you do both legs individually. When you're done with like sitting in this squat, then the idea is to try and control that. So you can do it one at a time, right? Squeezing the butt when you're pushing out and working each individual hip. So the idea is trying to own the bottom of that squat. So pushing in, pushing out, right? And then trying to work, squeezing the buttock, and then pushing in together. So we're working on ankles and hips at the same time here. What kind of position is that?
Yeah. Say it louder.
Get up.
Yeah. So the first one's more like this passive movement rotation in the ankle. It's in
This one, yeah.
There's rotation there. You're turning continuously.
Yeah.
I'm trying to push your everything like
You know, I've been looking like this for a while. I'm allowed to have a happy life as well.
When you've gone through those two movements, we're gonna grab a position either on a rack or on the rings, so we can pull those out. And what you're gonna do is this is one that you can do at home. So when we also think about motion in particular, there's three things that can limit motion, right? The first thing that can limit motion is a joint. The second thing that can limit motion is a muscle or a tendon, and the third thing is the neurological system. So a lot of times we'll find that people will have trouble just hitting this position, but when I get them in another position, they can actually get here, and they can bring their hips up. And a lot of times that can also be a little bit of balance. So this is meant to help with that, okay? So one of the things that we're gonna work on, and you can grab a door frame at home to do something like this. Like I said, you can hang on the rings. We can hang on any of these posts, these racks here. And what we wanna do is we wanna hold this and use this as a balanced position just to sit a little deeper. So if one of the positions is like, all right, I can get down to below 90 right here, but we wanna get to the bottom of that squat, we're struggling. This is a way to help do it sometimes, all right? One of the things we want to do when you get into the bottom of that squat is stabilize the upper half of your body, right? So what I don't want to see is people doing this, right? And losing and creating what we call that butt wink, where you're kind of sitting in this position. So what I tell people is I go, imagine I have oranges under my armpits and I'm trying to create orange juice, right? So I'm going to squeeze and lock my upper half up and I'm going to sit just like this as I go deeper. Right? If the analogy works, you roll it, right? So you hold it tight, hold the upper half tight. What we're trying to do is not have that loss of motion there. So try and keep that nice locked position while you're in this motion. All right, and then hold the bottom of it for about 3 to 5 seconds. And let's do about 10 repetitions. All right.
Why don't we partner up for this as well?
Partner up, yeah. Find a rack. I can show some.